Never forgotten. Here to speak for our feathered city dwellers is Sue Joyce. Thank you very much.
Hi everybody, you having a good day? I couldn't do the parade because you've got to stand over there, but it was lovely to see everybody walking. When I was little, in the 1970s, my parents told me a story that farmed animals were happy because those animals didn't know any other life. And I believed that story. When I was 8 years old in the 1980s, someone told me a different story about animal testing. And overnight, I became vegetarian. I started looking for the leaping bunny on everything I used. As a teenager, I was told stories about extreme animal rights activists. They were dangerous. They were bad people that I should avoid. And I believed those stories too. So instead of becoming an activist, I went to work in veterinary practice because I believed the story that was how I could help animals. I was working in an industry built on breeding animals for consumption or for human gratification as companions. I was paid to impregnate cows. And I told myself those cows were happy because of how we treat them, because receiving veterinary attention means we care, right? I visited abattoirs as part of my job to check conditions, and the story I told myself about that, if we can get that, sorry, the rain's playing havoc. The story I told about that was that because I wasn't personally eating the animals, even though I was wearing their skin on my feet and drinking their milk, that I wasn't responsible for their suffering. So when my son came home from school, aged 8, and told me a new story, that I wasn't doing enough, that dairy was scary and that leather was bad, I was gobsmacked. At first, I didn't believe this new narrative, because vegans are weirdos. They're ill and they're strange. But that too was just a story. That day changed my life, and I am forever grateful. Right now, we're living in a moment where the public is starting to realise that the stories that they are being told are not true. They are fairy tales designed to keep animal agriculture's wheels in motion and money in the pockets of those in power. When that truth starts to break through, it's uncomfortable. So people tell themselves new stories, softer lies, anything to avoid looking directly at the reality that we see every day. My work now is in pigeon advocacy, which is why I believe so strongly in the power of stories. The story of pigeons is one based on lies and scandal, of disease and deaths to humans that are horror stories, but all of those stories are fiction. The birds that have been ignored, dismissed and treated as disposable. So after many years of work, I am delighted that their story is being included in spaces like this, because compassion should never be selective. The National Pigeon Advocacy Association is working to change the way that pigeons are viewed by the general public. We're working to stop the use of pest control in town centres and instead allow our volunteers to manage the town flocks in smaller, healthier flock control. We're working to ban pigeon racing. It is a blood sport, and so many people don't even know it exists. When you see those birds fly over, they're not having a great time. They're actually fighting for their lives up there. We're working to ban the use of bird netting. We're working with the veterinary profession, the same industry that I came from, to educate them about pigeons, to encourage them to care for them and pass them on to rehabilitators instead of what happens now, which is euthanizing them on arrival. We're working to support the thousands of rehabbers in this country, most of whom are not vegan. Because if we can support those people who truly love these birds, they will start to extend their compassion to other species too. In my opinion, pigeons are a gateway to animal veganism. The story of pigeons is one of resilience. They are survivors. We value resilience. We put it in TED Talks, we write about it, it goes in books. But when resilience looks like a pigeon, grey and scruffy, well then resilience needs relocating. Today, I'm asking us to change our narrative as a community. Let's be kind to non-vegans. Be kind to the person who says they love animals while eating them. Because for many of us, that was our story too. It is hard to be compassionate in a world that isn't. Every single one of you is part of changing that narrative. And by being here today, you are enough. You are doing enough. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, your imperfections are your strength because they make your story real. So tell your story. Don't tell people to change. Tell them why you changed. Tell them how it feels now to live your life. Tell them what it's like to live a life free from quiet, constant guilt. Because that's what reaches people. That's what changes everything. Stories are the most powerful tool that we have. Let's start a new chapter today. Thank you.